Welcome, my name is Matt, aka Road Jedi 88. We are getting into Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Guild, Territory War, Attack Phase. 24 hours to make our attacks. And as you can see, we are evened up with our opponent, 4,928 points. The points are going to come from us either attacking their territories, working our way on down the line, or they're going to get their points from attacking our defense, working their way on down the line. So, we've defended her up. It looks like there's 16 for 16, so that's how many squads in a territory platoon per territory section. 16, 16. That's a lot of squads. A lot of squads. And I'm seeing some Relic Amplified up squads, some Datacrons thrown in. Something I'd still need to finish working on building up myself and continuing to self-educate further on since my 5 years of not playing this game. But we look to have a pretty strong team. But what about them? What do they have? Let's see. Whoa! Yep, and this was my point the other day, or yesterday, the last 2 days. They're going to be thinking probably along the same lines as us. They want us to bleed for our points from them as well. And I have to be honest. Jeez. I mean, this is the objective. You can create a little intimidation. Again, these Geonosians, they're not Relic Amplified, but they are Gear 12 tiers, not being led by Pavel the Lesser. His mods aren't entirely up, but he has speed and health, and given he's a support character, that makes him it allows him to command better. I don't know why they didn't put him as a squad leader, though. Is this the alpha? Yeah, okay. So this is going to be a hornet's nest. So if anyone's going to, it's got a baseball bat and wants to pinata swing at this hornet's nest, make sure you got a hell of a baseball bat. And maybe a blowtorch. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what I can do at this point. I mean, I trust my Darth Vader and I trust my Inquisitors, but to an extent. Like I said, just because, like I said in a territory battle, just because something looks so daunting to the point you just want to crawl right back to bed and say to hell with it. That never allows us to win a battle. So, but I almost want to kind of hold out just a little bit and see if one of my teammates can make a dent. It would be ideal to let, like, someone who's got a lot of muscle tear this front line up. But I'm looking to see, between that Rex and the Sabine and the Phoenix squad, I would send my team against them. I don't know what to expect from the effect of that Datacron. As I said, I'm still kind of familiarizing myself with the Datacrons. It adds bonuses. Bonus mechanics for light side characters for the first time. Each light side ally reaches 75%, 50%, and 25% health, granting them protection up to 50% for 2 turns, which can't be dispelled or prevented. Now, I have sent my Inquisitors, led by Darth Vader, right through a Phoenix squad. This squad, okay, here's one I can do. I got confidence in myself with this one. I have confidence, actually. Well, okay. Like, it's kind of like I've suggested with Grand Arena battles. Have a primary team that is your strongest, but then have a backup team that's kind of like your second strongest, a contingency team, like a team A, a team B, a team C. That is kind of like based on the level of difficulty you might need them for in a squad battle. This is the first line, and my Jedis are pretty tough. I'd hate to waste them, though. Well, I don't know. I'll test my Jedis out. Well, let me see what they look like when I formulate them. Hello. Thank you. I'll definitely want a healer in the squad. An attacker that's got support mods. Or, almost a tank-like mod approach. He's not protecting the squad like a tank, but he's gonna punch like a tank. With my Anakin there. Yoda's not too bad. I know I need to build him up more. Do I even have... Okay, yeah, I do. I was trying to remember if I had mods on him. I thought I did. My Ahsoka is pretty well modded up. And so is my Mace Windu. I'm still building on gearing up their gear tier in their mods. But, my Jedi Consular, I believe I've got him modded. I got them leveled up. He's got some gear tier into him. Not as much as I'd like, but they are relic amplified. Let me look at the Hera. But she's a relic amplified 1, leveled 85, maxed on her abilities, and pretty well modded up. I gotta compliment them. Not what I'm... Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Let's look at the Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. He's leveled up. He is relic amplified, but his mods are weak. This person isn't exactly farming mods that already have the maxed rarity on them. They haven't leveled up the mods, so that's an advantage right there. Sabine Wren, same story. Okay, so I'm feeling confident enough, actually. The more I see that, the more confident I'm feeling. Okay, so the Ahsoka... Okay, between the Ahsoka and Hera, those were kind of the strongest in this squad. Kanan, maybe. He's not relic amplified. He's not gear tier 13. But he aligns with Hera, and Sabine does too. This particular Ahsoka does not. At least not fully. But I believe I can pull this off. If I focus on the ones that were a little bit weaker. Does he have a taunt on me? Fine. I might as well go ahead and finish him off. Something's keeping me locked on characters. Take that one out. I really would have liked to have had Sabine down, but I didn't. Did they have a Datacron? I did not pay attention to that. Something's got me not able to just switch the players I'm going after, or the characters. But that is victory. Victory +5. First attempt +10. Surviving units +5 because all mine survived. You earn plus 20 banners. Tap anywhere to continue. I might not want to tap anywhere. I'll end my video. Yeah, see, these sets are pretty powered up. That Commando Luke Skywalker, he's gonna put a hell of a defense on this squad. Yeah, the hell. So we're gonna need some. I'm gonna need a guild member, guildmate, who's with better muscles than me to be able to handle that squad. I might be able to chase after this one. Let me evaluate them. They've got Zeta. Most of them got Zeta abilities. Chopper is relic amplified to second tier, but the rest are 3 except for Rex. Rex is a beast here. He's what makes me nervous about this one. And Hera is pretty. This person's Hera is pretty powerful too. And when you throw a Sabine and Kanan in, anytime Rex attacks, they're all gonna join with Rex, and anytime each of them individually attacks, Rex is gonna back them up. So if I go in after this one, I'm gonna want my Darth Vader, but I don't know if I feel confident enough because my Inquisitors aren't as relic up like my Darth Vader. They're not as far up as he is. I've got them modded up since my last Grand Arena battle, because I kind of forgot to put mods on them in my last one. But they're modded now. But I still need to build those mods, and I'm still relic amplifying my guys, my Inquisitors. Someone has made an attack over here. Good. So the guild is warring. And we are ahead of them. We're at 4,968, where they are sitting at 4,928. So, but I mean, anyone knows anything about like chess games and checker games and stuff like that? They went out to the Geonosian. Was that the Geonosian squad? I mean, my Vader and Inquisitor probably could have handled them, but really, we need a member with muscles to be chasing after some of these others. I think I might be able to. I don't know what to expect about that Datacron, but these bounty hunters, I might be able to pull off sending my Inquisitors at them, led by my Darth Vader. Because when it comes to Datacrons, like I have Datacrons, but none of them align with any of the characters in that squad, for one. Two, if it's something that gets wasted once it's been used in battle, I don't have them maxed up. I would rather, if I'm going to use the Datacron, I would rather see all 3 of the tiers, or all the tiers that I build up on my Datacrons, all reach, the max of the level of them before I just waste them. Because if I'm gonna make use of something like that has taken me a long time to invest and build up, I want to make use of it at its fullest potential. So, and that's just my thinking. And I had one. I have used it, and then it disappeared. So that's the part I'm trying to make sense of. Now they're probably going to tear a chunk of my Inquisitors up. I kind of half expected this. But I'm hoping my Darth Vader adds an element. And I hope I don't cost us having picked this fight. Really, boss? You got... Ah, you kidding me? Ah, hell no. Ha ha. Well, that sucked. If I cost us some points there. Oops. Oh, man, that sucked. Jerks. Stood up to my bullies and I got my butt whooped. Alright, better. So you can kind of take a look. Did they change the patron? I thought they used to give the names. That's weird. So someone is up at... That's weird how they're labeling that. Banners from Send Defense. Banners from Successful Attacks. So far there's only been 2 of us. Rogue actions. Well, that's because there's been no leader commands. Or officer, guild officer commands. Dang. Well, that's pretty much that in a nutshell. Just, go back to kind of what I talked about in the setup phase. Obviously, there's nothing we can do about changing our defense. Our hands are off those pieces, and the computer has locked them in. So, with that said, just kind of know your offense. Know the formula, the chemistry formula of what they do when you put them together. I clearly admit, I underestimated those bounty hunters. That Datacron may have been a factor. And honestly, as a lesson to myself, until I get understanding the Datacrons a little bit better, I probably should not go attempting squads that have the Datacrons. Note to self. Someone who does know what the Datacrons are doing, who knows how to counter those attacks or those defense, knows how to counter those. Let them be the ones to make those attacks because they stand a better chance. They have the knowledge, the wisdom, the knowledge, the experience, the wisdom to handle a squad that's got those Datacrons. Because those Datacrons, they're adding features. They're almost like, like each of your individual characters, you put a mod to them. Well, if that's a mod to a squad, that's basically what the Datacron is doing, is modifying your squad. So, it's boosting, whatever your chemistry formula, like chemistry building your squads together to be, like, what type of attack, offense or defense you're wanting them to be effective as. That Datacron is kind of giving them an additional training feature almost, if you want to look at it that way, like cross-train situation, where they're not only going to do what you, by chemistry, but in formula, put those squad members together, but they're going to be able to do more than just that. That's almost the way I'm seeing those Datacrons. It's a form of a mod, but specifically for squads. If you look at it that way. And if you're like me, needing to take a little time to learn those Datacrons, figure out what it is they're doing, the effect that they're having. Yeah, if you don't know what you're up against, you might as well be banging your head up against a brick wall while you're at it. Someone who knows what that Datacron is and what it's going to do. And they give you the description of what it's doing, but knowing how to counter that, the counterattack, the counter defense, the countermeasures that's going to be required, and handling the squad that's got a Datacron on them. Someone who knows what specifically it is doing, because they have the experience of going up against them, and they have actually defeated them with that Datacron in place. They probably are using that Datacron themselves, I'm guessing, with their squad, and that's probably one thing that didn't help me. My Inquisitors weren't strong enough in relic amplification, but that's not the only thing. I might have had a bad formula in how I put my squad together. Maybe Darth Vader wasn't meant to be the leader in that squad. Maybe he shouldn't have been in that squad at all. The other factor, I didn't have a Datacron in that squad. I didn't put one on. And I'm still, I'm still trying to make sense of it. And while I'm sitting here saying I don't want to risk using something I don't fully understand until I know what it is, until I know what it's going to do, until I know for certain that it's not going to be a total waste. Well, going up against someone who has a Datacron, well, I just wasted a squad. So, lesson learned. Because when you go to the squad battles in the arena section, I mean, I've gone up against some guys in there that have the Datacrons going on and been able to defeat them. But I think in some cases, if you look at the Datacrons closely, one second. If you look at the Datacrons closely, where's one that okay. So, for example, yeah, you get them leveled up, and this is one I'm getting close to having maxed up. When you reach a certain point, say when I reach 3, when I reached this point, it unlocked a feature. Dark side allies start the battle with plus 25% turn meter. Well, that's a fourth of a probable chance I'm going to get an extra turn, or something like that, if I'm understanding that correctly. And I just used a whole squad of Darksiders. It could have been helpful to them. Level 6, it finally unlocks another feature, and that is bonus mechanic for Inquisitors characters. Whenever an Inquisitor ally deals damage to an enemy and no other enemy is marked, inflict marked for 1 turn on the target enemy, which can't be evaded for resisted or resisted. My next objective would be to unlock level 9, the mechanic, and it doesn't give me the details of what it's going to do, but I imagine, okay, we started with it was meant for Darksiders, now it's meant for specifically Inquisitors. It is narrowing down the gap who it's meant for. And in the case of, say, the power for higher Datacron, I've unlocked the level 3 aspect. I'm trying to work my way to level, well, it says level 5, but that's a little confusing because here, oh, that's where okay. So when I get to level 6, but if you notice, it's been specifically for the Wampa character. So my thinking is, in the case of a squad that has a Datacron, and correct me in the comments if I am wrong, because I'm trying to learn this myself too. I want to make sure I'm getting this right, because at some point I need to be applying Datacrons to my squads too. I need to be doing that myself. But does me no good to utilize something if I don't understand what I'm using. That's a lot of what these walkthroughs are for, especially with the mods and stuff. Why am I putting this on? What is this for? What is it doing specifically that gives me any reason to want to make use of it? Am I just taking up space with this gear part or this mod piece for it to do absolutely nothing or suicide my character? In this case, it seems to go towards Darth Sion. It also has an effect for Darth Treya. So, do I see a Darth Treya in this person's squad? I see a Darth Treya, I believe. Yep. So that Datacron is helping Darth Treya. I'm assuming. Darth Sion is being affected by it as well. And whatever is going on with them, that they contribute to their squad defensively, that Datacron is amplifying what they are doing for that squad. So, when you go into a battle like that, my assumption, assuming I'm correct, is they're probably among the two. In this case, as an example, in this case, they're probably the two characters you want to knock out first, so that Datacron has little effect for the rest of the squad. I'm just guessing. It's a theory at this point for myself until I know better, until I learn better about it. In the case of what I just went up against, the bounty hunters. Now, okay, so it's showing that it is effective for the old suit Mando, as well as also for Grief Karga in any squad situation that this is put in place for. And, yep, there was Grief Karga and Mando. So I got my butt kicked, probably because the Datacron having an effect for the Grief Karga and the Mando, and whatever it is that they specifically are contributing for the rest of the squad as an entirety. I mean, I didn't even hardly get a punch out at them. I showed up to the battlefield and said hello, and then they put me to sleep. So, I mean, we didn't even shake hands. It was a Braveheart moment, and a pointless one. I mean, from what I'm observing and what I'm seeing and what I just experienced, that's what I'm gathering. So when you go up against one of these squads in the attack phase for territory wars, my recommendation: one, you might want to have Datacrons against the ones with Datacrons, maybe. But best of all, find out who in your guild can go up against the Datacron users. Or if not that, at least maybe kind of, if you're not in that kind of chat communication concept with any of your squad members or guildmates, maybe just kind of sit back and observe and see if someone does take it out. Because it's probably a player that knows how to counteract the Datacron effects. If it shows you who made the attack, if it does show it at all, it doesn't show me who made the attack in this Geonosian squad. It would be nice to know who's making the attacks. And they've changed the aspect of this. It's almost anonymous now. Which, I mean, fair enough. I won't dispute that ever. But, if there is a way to figure out who attacked that particular squad, that, had a Datacron that you just didn't know how to counteract. Maybe if they are a player that's kind enough and willing enough to attempt a conversation about it, maybe they can kind of fill you in on how they went about it. And that's definitely something, that's a homework I'm going to need to try to do. If I can't, get myself self-educated extensively enough on my own, I might need to reach out to someone to say, hey, does anyone know how to counteract this situation? Because these Datacrons, they are new to me. I have to admit, they're new to me. And like mods, for many players, the mods can kind of go over people's heads. Fair enough. They got a whole website on how to address that. I'm putting together a whole playlist on trying to help people be able to definitively understand what the mods and the type of characters are and how to address putting them together. As well as, if you know how to put them together on yourself, well, when you see it on another player's characters, you know what that is. You know what they're doing with their characters, and you know what you're going to need to counteract what they're putting in place. There's always a countermeasure to everything. You just got to know what that countermeasure is. Everything has a weakness. It's just a matter of that experience and the knowledge together, the wisdom in the game to know what is it going to take this person out. When they got their characters this modded up, they got them mixed in with these squad of people. They got a Datacron, a part of their squad, the way they got it formulated with these characters modded the way they are. It can be daunting if you don't know what you're looking at. But it's not unlearnable. It's not something that can't be figured out. It can be figured out. Play around with it, test around, see what you get out of it. If it backfires, try to figure out where the mistake might have been. Try to look a little bit closer into what the situation might have been, or what the details of what was being used against you, so you can understand. And if you're not the kind that's good at self-educating, that's why you got walkthroughs like what I'm trying to put together. And as soon as I can make better sense of the Datacrons, like what I've done with the mods, what I'm doing with the mods, I will do the same with the Datacrons. But it might give me some time because they do seem like a slow process. No joke. They do seem like a slow learning, not just a slow learning process, but a slow build-up process too, from what I'm gathering. But ask around with guildmates. If there is someone, I know you're talking to complete and total strangers internationally, but, exercising online safety, someone is bound to be kind enough, willing enough to answer that blank look in your eye when you look at the Datacrons or the mods. What do I do with this? How do I counteract this? How did you do it? Hopefully they're kind enough and willing enough to understand why you're confused and are willing to help answer that question, fill the void of that gap look in your eyes so that you can put it into practice and hopefully one day, be able to pull it off yourself. But just remember, if someone helped you out with that, maybe be willing to do the same for someone else, for another new player when they're trying to look into it. Like, hey, you know what? This is a thing of grace. This person didn't have to help me with this. I can help this newbie with this. It's just a thing of grace. But yeah, my recommendation with the Datacrons: let someone who does know how to handle them. If you don't, and that's probably something I should have done. And it looks like we got another participant over here. Good, we're making points. And so are they. They're ahead of us as of now, while I've been talking. Anyways, that is territory war attack phase. Like I said, our hands are off the piece of the defense, but our hands can be all over this offense. All over their side. So let's knock them out. And good luck to anyone in your own guild's territory wars. I wish you all the best of luck. If by chance I'm members of the my opposing team, my guild's opposing guild is coming across this, watching this war, best of luck. If not, either way, it's all fair game in the end. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comments, questions, suggestions down below. Wish you the best of luck in your guild wars, and may the force be with us all.